Hello, everyone.
Hello there. So we were sitting this morning and thinking about, actually lovely in the sun with a cup of tea, thinking about topics that we can discuss. And it being this month, a rest period for us, um, I said to George that I'm really struggling with this holiday of ours.
Mm.
I'm really struggling to rest in a constructive way, in a meaningful way, and whether we could maybe talk about that. How can how can one rest? How can one do nothing in a constructive way?
I think Matilda has quiet time uh, on her to do list. And then at the end of this period, she'll mark it and said, I had a good rest.
Yeah, I think in the end that is actually where we're heading, and that's what it boiled down in the Afrikaans version is that for me, and that's my personality, and I realize that it's an ego-based personality. I am so controlled, conditioned by the mindset of being productive
Mm.
that even when I'm taking a rest, even when I'm going into a period where I don't have the shoulds and the musts
Mm.
on my list, I struggle to feel that I'm doing this rest period
In the
right
most meaningful
in
way.
the most meaningful way. So that at the end, looking back, that I can say I actually got to do the things that I don't ever have the time for.
Mm.
If I don't get to those things, it will be a big disappointment for me.
Mm.
It will be like I really didn't use the very precious time for me, actually, because we
Mm.
don't have that um, in a way that made the best use of the time that I had.
Yes.
So I think that's the big problem is it's not so much that I must be busy all the time. It's
Mm.
that I should be, or that's in my mind, I should be busy with the things that I'm always looking forward to doing when if I have a little more time.
Mm. Am I doing this resting right?
Yes. Yes. Am I really it's like having a little bit of extra money
Mm.
and you're thinking this money, I want to do something special with this.
Mm.
We really need this or that, and it's not something like groceries or the um, or fuel or whatever.
Mm.
And then in the end, that money just gets sort of eaten up by all those
Mm.
ordinary things. That's also necessary,
Mm.
but that you feel it was something that could have been used better.
Mm.
So it's that sort of mindset and that which actually makes me feel almost anxious in this time of rest.
Mm.
Um, as if I can't really settle down. Just give me something to do, and there's always something. I mean,
Mm.
it's not like we're just sitting here or we have to make food, we have planning to do for things that will start up again from August, but there is more space. The rhythm is quieter. Yeah,
Mm.
and I really struggle with that.
Do you think, being in your own words, you realize that it's an ego construct and it's the ego tripping you over in this sense? But you don't think that you're overthinking it. And by just entering it and what announces itself, to do that and to enjoy it, you have a fairly good idea. I mean, it's winter, you love knitting in winter, to focus on that. You love being busy creatively, drawing or coloring in or whatever, just doing that.
Mm.
But then you say, well, there can be other things that I can do as well. Or
Yeah, and the thing, and again, it's ego. It's, but it's also it's like I can be knitting or crocheting another beanie, and it's enjoyable. And I sit and do it in front of the fire, um, but it's like it's meaningless. It's not. It doesn't really count for much. It doesn't really add to making. Um, how can I put it? It's not of enough importance.
Mm, mm,
It feels like if I'm doing this with this bit of time, at least it must count for something, not just another beanie.
mm.
Then at least the pattern must be really something that that takes my attention up and that I can struggle with a bit. There must be some form of, what's the word for it? Some more meaning, more purpose,
Mm.
more um,
Value.
value. Because otherwise, it feels like I'm fooling myself. I can say I did something, but
But the mere act of knitting and sitting in front of the fire on a quiet evening.
no, it's lovely. It's lovely, but I can be sitting in front of the fire in a quiet evening and be doing something that I will never forget in my life. While crocheting another beanie, I can definitely, I won't even, it's not, it's like boiling an egg. And I know the answer, being living contemplatively. That every act, anything that we're doing, and we're doing it with awareness and being in that moment, is worth that thing that you're doing.
Mm,
I know
mm,
that.
mm,
Um, and I think the question for me is, how do I get, how do I, how do I switch off that very strict controller standard? It's almost like a quality controller
mm, mm,
that says this thing makes the grade and that thing doesn't.
mm,
Um, this is a, if I look back on this month of rest, um, I feel like it's been a month where I have something to show, not necessarily a product,
mm,
but something to show for having used the precious time well.
mm.
You see my problem. You don't struggle with that.
Not,
It doesn't seem to
not
be a problem.
to that extent. Um, uh, and I feel for you
I'm glad.
because I mean you're very harsh with yourself, having this standard that even a time of rest, there must be something flowing out of that. You have to look back at it and you have to show something for it. Um, while I think it is quite meaningful that our days are slower,
Mm,
that we have time to sit in the sun on the little stoop and look at the garden and drink our tea and so on, and it's a slower process, and the days are beautiful.
mm, mm.
Um, that in itself, enjoying a day, and I'm almost afraid of uh, mentioning it because it sounds as if yeah, but you can settle into uselessness very easily. Yes, I can. If that is what I have to do, and that is part, uh, uh, and it's beautiful. Uh, but I understand because you have this very strict voice constantly whispering in your ear. What do you have to show for it? Because for me also, I think the one thing that, let me start at that point. I love the life we're living.
Yeah,
That is
yeah, and me too.
what
It
I
sounds like,
don't like at periods is that life is a little bit hectic.
yeah.
A lot of things following each other. What we doing, I love it. But
Mm,
sometimes there's a lot of things uh, uh, happening simultaneously, and there's pressure and
yeah.
so on. I don't like that. So I'm still doing in general what I'm always doing. I've fixed a broken house appliance. I read, I write, I
Mm,
prepare for things that's to follow, but I enjoy it doing that. But it's at a slower pace.
mm,
Um, Yeah, and I don't know whether that helps you and only makes you feel better. Worse.
Yeah, I think it's like everything when we always come back to that is to be aware of what's happening,
Yes.
of the pitfall, and to be aware when I'm stepping into it, uh, and to just allow myself, because it's really like an anxiety that I feel
Mm,
for time passing and the rest period going, passing by, and me not having, um, or having the feeling of doing this well.
mm.
So, and to realize that and to relax into, almost like, what really helps is to have a rhythm of retreating,
Yes.
because, and that's what we always say, is the best way for us to rest is to go on a retreat ourselves.
Yes.
So in terms of that, I've said that a couple of days over the past 2 weeks. I've said I'm on retreat. I'm on retreat at the Restory.
Mm,
And that helps for a day,
mm,
and then you sort of slip back, because it's difficult to do that when you're in your own space.
mm.
I think if you're really at another place, another retreat center, you into that rhythm, and you allow yourself, and it has a lot to do with allowing
Yes.
yourself, giving yourself
Yes.
permission,
Yes.
and really understanding that the purpose, the aim is to rest, and not to necessarily find a lot of meaning of leaving a legacy in this month that I have.
Yeah.
So, and to keep that in mind, and I think that's what it boils down to. So that at the end of this time, I can look back and say, I really rested.
And I think
And that's all that's important.
yes, one has to be very careful to apply a productivity yardstick to a period of rest.
Yeah.
There's a different yardstick
Mm.
that has to be applied when you rest.
Mm. Well, I can say that I rest well. did I did I get it right, this resting? You see, it's just there all the time. So
Mm.
so it's an awareness of that.
Well, can it help you when I say at this stage I'm resting better than you? You better catch up and you better rest better because you're very competitive.
No, I'm not competitive. You can rest all you want. I just look at you and think, gosh, I wish it came as naturally for me. It's like
Mm.
I really want to step into that space of, um, yeah, um, and it's again, and I think that's why even in meditation, my word is to just be, to
Be.
just surrender, and I think
Mm.
that's just always a big challenge for me, and why meditation really helps me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we do have the answers. It's just to
Apply them.
apply them
Yeah.
and to keep
And I
being
think
aware.
realizing that knowing things is often the one part
Yeah,
of this journey. But then going over and releasing and just being is the next thing. And I think in that sense, the sits, um, maybe a definite rhythm of,
like a retreat program.
yeah, that will help.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have the same problem as me, please let me know, so I don't feel so dreadfully alone at the moment. But keep well, everyone. Talk
Keep
again soon.
well. See you next week. Bye
Bye.
bye.